dad, I am known as Mouse. While I had hoped to outgrow that nickname, it remained a favorite of my dad's until he died. As maybe the person in the room who knew my father the longest, I wanted to share some of the highlights of my time with my dad growing up. While my father had many, many great qualities, as many of you know, these are the 4 qualities that I admired most in my dad. He had the biggest heart. He was hardworking, he was fearless, and he was generous beyond belief. Growing up in the Bay Area, we lived on a street where many families had lots of children. I was able to roam the neighborhood on my Schwinn bike, play in backyards, and bring friends home for sleepovers and play dates. Oftentimes my friends wanted to come to my house to see buffalo. It wasn't because of his crazy patchwork pants or the 10-gallon hats. It was because my dad treated each of my friends like they were the most important people in the neighborhood. When my dad passed, a childhood friend reached out to me. We hadn't talked in maybe 20 years, and she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I loved your dad. I was so shy as a child. One time he picked me up and he hugged me and he said, 'Maria, I love you, and I'm just going to love you until you love me back.'" That was my dad. He saw people. He really saw them. I was my dad's buddy. I believe he'd hoped for a son, and luckily, in Alex, he got one. But in the meantime, before Alex was born, my sister and I were able to fulfill his dream by riding shotgun in his old blue Ford pickup truck, sticking chew in our cheek and promptly throwing up, heading to rodeos to sit on top of cattle chutes while he roped and roped and roped. With $5 in my pocket, a few old cowboys to touch base with if I needed something, I was free to roam the rodeo while he worked to improve his time heading steers for the day. My only memory that was not so great was the chew. I was tough, but I wasn't that tough. As a man who took his work seriously, my dad traveled a lot. When he and my mom divorced, I worried we would lose touch because he was on the road. For a young boy who grew up in La Grande, Oregon without much, my dad was able to determine that loving his daughters, and later his son, was a priority he would keep at the forefront of his life. Throughout the years, my dad chronicled his experiences, selling clothes, roping steers, riding on jets, his loves, his losses, his commitment to God, into many cards, phone messages, and letters given to me. We wrote to one another, and it was through these letters and our visits that he had a large impact on my life and helped me become the person I am. 1977, 11 years old. Mousy, you are my gold at the end of the rainbow. I miss you. Love, Dad. 1978, 12. Mousy, I spend so much time thinking about you. I miss you. I hope your new house is fine and that everyone is happy. I love you, Dad. 1980, 14. Mouse, be sweet, darling. I love you very, very much. See you in a couple of weeks. Love, Dad. 1981, 15. Dear Mouse, you can count on me anytime and always. I love you so much. P.S. My itinerary is attached. 1981, 15. Mouse, this is for your bank account. P.S. The enclosed are available by the gross. 1983, 17. Dear Mouse, I hope school, basketball, and all your activities are going well. I know how busy we both can get, but I feel real sad when I don't hear from you, and I know you must feel the same way when I forget to write or call. I know sometimes that I failed at being a good dad. It seems that only 8 weeks out of 52 that I get to see you, it's hard to do and be all things to all people. I love you so much, Dad. 1986, college. I'm sure by now you have danced your ass off and you're getting ready to hit the books instead of the beer. My new job is good so far, really putting in the hours. I cannot believe how proud I am of my little girl, Kimmy. But sure, it doesn't make me miss you any less. Remember, when the going gets tough, no pain, no gain. Believe me, this seems to apply to about everything in life. But things are still wonderful. Love you, Dad. Grad school. Message. Hi, honey. For some reason, I thought you already had your PhD. I've been telling everyone that. Ha! I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. The letters, the phone calls, the messages. We talked about people when we talked. My dad did like to gossip a little. He remembered everyone, all of my friends, my ex-boyfriends, my teachers. He always had a funny saying or a word that would describe someone to a T. Like when he met one of my teachers one year. I think I was about 10, and he leaned down to me and he said, "Mouse, that woman can make a freight train hit a dirt road." I wasn't sure what he meant, but it didn't matter. He and I were in on something, and that's all I cared about. We talked about values, about love, about giving, about generosity of spirit, and what we had in common. My dad loved life. He loved people. And if you were one of the ones he touched, you were very lucky. Upon his passing, countless friends and family shared with me how special he made them feel. My dad loved horses, he loved cowboys, country music, vast amounts of land. He loved Longmire, he loved his family. He loved Willie Nelson, he loved tall boots, belt buckles, long rides on Custer, books about the Old West, and the best tequila that money could buy. So, dear Dad, it is with all of my heart that I say to you, thank you. Thank you for being an inspiring force in my life, for loving me, for believing in me. I am grateful that I inherited your big heart. I am grateful that I could hold your hand when you passed on. I miss you every day.